So we all owe the Weasel an apology. Besides a teaser for a little old movie that'll be coming out this summer, July 11th, which I'm guessing is gonna be a Superman movie, cause well, there wasn't a title card, so maybe they forgot it. Or they put it out well knowing people would already know what the fuck's going on. Anywho, we also had the 4th episode of Creature Commandos drop. Everybody who's had a screener for this show has said that's their favorite episode, and I think I know why. This episode is a banger all around from all different angles. The world building, the character development, the plot development. It's such an incredible time to be a DC fan. Let's get right into Chasing Squirrels. So not by much, but this episode was actually longer than the last 3 episodes, coming in at around 25 minutes of actual episode time, whereas the previous ones were more so around 21, and I could definitely feel it. Like when I was watching, I checked the time and was relieved there was actually more than I had expected. Essentially, the Commandos head back to Belle Reve from Pokolistan with Cersei, and they got her in this anti-baiting rig, but this is where the story starts getting dissected with Weasel's lawyer coming through, voiced by the incredible Linda Cardellini. God, I love Scooby-Doo. Then Frankenstein finally enters the fray, and he's getting all types of jealous over the bride looking at Flag, and then he gets pissed off because of how Flag has a beard and he can't grow one and it connects, and you know, he kills the dudes that give him the helicopter ride, which I'm not saying is reasonable, but all I'm saying is I'm saying. This is where they start to interrogate Cersei and try to find out her motive for going after Ilana, and we get some solid exposition on her powers, how they work, and even a bit of lore for her and Themyscira here. She shows Waller a vision of the future, and what do you know, it's sweet old Princess Ilana in Pokolistan, battle armor, big old scratches across her face, looking crazy as hell, bombing the world and raining hell on the masses with the help of our official DCU Gorilla Grodd. Love a big monk. Insane viewing, but not as insane as seeing our first look at DCU Batman along with the other heroes dead. I know we have like 87 different Batman at the moment, but shit, I'm still in all of this stuff. Like the cape is just majestic as hell. Again, I think Gunn said to the same effect as I would have guessed, but this is just a rough silhouette, an example, an estimate of what we can expect the DCU Batman to look like once he gets into live action. So I'm not really going through any of this with a fine-tooth comb really, except apparently Wally West is in there somewhere as well, which hey, I think we got our confirmation for DCU Flash. The side she shows you versus the side she doesn't tell you about. But this shakes Waller to her core, and there is a very palpable level of sincerity coming from Cersei. So the vibe is like, okay, she might not actually be playing a trick on us, but this might be very real. Anya Chalotra has been killing it with the voice acting, and you got Viola Davis opposite of her, so she's selling the sense of doom incredibly, and the animation and music just elevate it all. Weasel's with his lawyer trying to get any type of reaction from him to prove his innocence and his conviction, but he's too focused on Sigma things. Obviously, Flag doesn't want to kill Ilana, so he dips, is tailed by Big Frankie, and they get into a bit of an altercation, which there might have not been too much action in this episode, but the choreography and animation make even the shortest sequences satiating. We actually get to hear Frank keep up a conversation with Flag, and he's like a 6th grade boy romantic, you know, in between the ears. He has a habit of romanticizing everything, escalating the severity of extremely vanilla issues, or taking transactional partnership offers from Flag and somehow molding that into best friendship. Everybody yearns for love and friendship, and all these things are normal. Just don't be desperate for them, players. With Flag's departure, Waller assigns the bride to lead Task Force M back to Pokolistan to kill the princess, and just before that, we start to see the famous James Gunn walls being broken down, where the standoffish character couldn't block the care they now feel for another character that was previously bothersome to them. Top 3 genders right there. And I just love seeing the bride sticking up for and warming up to Nina. Maybe she's not so dead on the inside after all. Care to comment, Vic? But then we get to Weasel's actual backstory, and damn, okay, he was just a creature that looked crazy, of course, but these children accepted him as their friend, and while they were playing one day where they shouldn't have been playing, a fire erupts, and then the situation is exacerbated by groundskeeper Willie over here shooting recklessly instead of helping the children. This is where we find that Weasel really is just kind of an animal, but he is one that can feel and summon incredible amounts of bravery within himself to do what he can to save the last child still alive. But when the cops come, they are too busy trying to serve him lead to protect this child, and just everything that says. But you know, the music, the animation, the emotion is so intense for just a 4-minute sequence. It is so severely efficient and effective. The rise in emotion always feels so earned and organically arrived at. It's hard to not be a D1 Krispy Kreme glazer, but damn bro, they they, Gunn and co, are on point here. The thing that tops it all off is that throughout the majority of the episode, since the beginning of the show, really even since his appearance in the Suicide Squad, Weasel has just been portrayed to be otherwise unthinking and just kind of there. Even now, as it shows, he still deals with the trauma of that event, but really has no way of effectively communicating that. So the people around him unintentionally dismiss his distress with lines like chasing squirrels. So it's nothing short of tragic, the story of Weasel, but also kind of inspiring. Like, I was trying to find stories with Weasel in them, but he's not in a lot of books, and the incarnation that he takes in more recent comics is probably even more pathetic. Like, he was originally a Firestorm villain, kind of, but his whole thing was that he was forgettable as hell, and he was actually a man back then, John Monroe, in the 80s. Then after the New 52 in 2012, he took on a more animal, less guy in an animal suit type vibe, and he's mostly just a part of the background or dead. I love the idea that Gunn seems obsessed with taking the most ridiculous or obscure, even joke characters and giving them depth so that you actually care about them when their time is done. It just reinforces the through line message in most of his films, and why I really gravitate to them is that no matter what, you have purpose and you are capable of more good than you think. In next week's episode, everybody should be back in Pekolistan and Big Frankie is the focus, so this should be something else. I'm just excited to see how far things escalate from here, see where Cersei's plan or Ilana's plan goes. Chasing Squirrels is a solid 8 out of 10, but let me know your thoughts and predictions, players. This is the last video before Christmas, so from your boy Comic Concept to all you guys who take the time to watch and engage with these videos, it means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Of course, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.